Let's set a challenge to see if we can improve your career's clarity in less than 15 minutes. Ready, set, go. Want your career decision making to go from feeling overwhelmed to feeling a bit more chilled? Well, you are in the right place. In this video, we are talking about career clarity for the overwhelmed. So let's be real. Has the process of making decisions about your early career journey been feeling stressful? Has it been something that you have not been wanting to think about? Have you been kind of trying to ignore some of the big milestones, like when you need to get your UCAS application in, or whether you should actually apply for that internship? If that's the case, then I'm so glad that we are here together today, because we're going to talk about career clarity for the overwhelmed. Now, to get over a feeling, sometimes you need to name it. So what is overwhelm? Overwhelm can relate to a couple of things. It can relate to a sudden and strong emotion, and it can also relate to the idea of something being too much to deal with. And so that's kind of the emotion that we're talking about here. If making early career decisions like what course you want to study at university, whether you want to study at university at all, should you do an apprenticeship, what is it that you can actually see yourself doing in the world? How do you want to contribute? If thinking about any or all of those things feels like it's a lot right now, then it's time to start with the basics. It's time to start with the very foundation of how we work out what we're interested in career-wise. And within the next few minutes, you are going to have a clearer vision of how to do that. And I'm so excited to be guiding you through this simple but effective process. I'm Gina Vistrom, career coach and consultant, and over the last decade plus, I have helped more than 3,000 plus students on this journey, and I'm excited to be here to help you too. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to share one action, which I'm going to say is actually probably incredibly obvious, but it might not be something that you've taken advantage of. So I want to make sure that we circle back to that at the end of this video. And for now, we're going to start on these foundational elements to get you moving from confused to clarity. So when it comes to the foundation, the very foundation of starting to work out what you like, what you might enjoy as a career, why not start with your day-to-day, with your academic subjects, what you're studying in school? Do some reflection on what you really enjoy and also what you really don't, because it can be equally as valuable to work out what you don't enjoy doing as what you do enjoy doing. Now, I'm sad to say that for me at school, I really wasn't into maths or science, and I know that that's such a shame, and I thank goodness that there are so many girls and women who feel differently to what I did, but that was one of the kind of clarifying factors for me. And I'm curious about what it is for you. So thinking about your academic subjects is a really great place to start. What do you enjoy doing? What feels exciting? What homework or revision do you not avoid? What do you avoid and why? And starting with some of that reflection is a great way to then relate to how that could affect your interest when it comes to your career. I told you we were going to start simple, right? And let's move on to number 2, right? So you have first started reflecting on your academia. That was number 1. Now let's look at the second factor for you. I'd love you to have a think about your hobbies. What is it that you really enjoy doing in your spare time? Do you read? Do you write? Do you game? Do you bake? Do you skateboard? Do you play lots of sports? Are you loving learning a musical instrument? Do you do a lot of dance? Are you really great with arts and crafts? Do you enjoy gardening? Thinking about your hobbies and your interests can be an excellent way to get clearer on whether some of those might factor into your future career. So let's say that you love sport or you love dance, right? You know that there are, competitive sporting activities. And so even if you're not going to be a competitive athlete, there are businesses for whom it is their job to organize the World Cups and varying competitions. And, if there is a sport that you're interested in, or if you are interested in some kind of sport in general, remember, there are jobs that relate to behind the scenes of those activities. And so I'm using that as just one example of where a hobby of yours might help you understand more about what career you might want to pursue. So that has been number 2, thinking about what hobbies you enjoy. And number 3, what content do you enjoy? What do you enjoy watching and consuming? Reflecting on this can also be really useful. So what do you do? What do you watch? What do you listen to? What kind of content engages you? Do you like day in the life vlogs? Content about travel? How about anything to do with sport or mindset? Perhaps you enjoy watching some of those home or garden renovation shows. Or what about gamers competing? Maybe you enjoy finding out more about finances and investing. Maybe you consume personal or professional development content. The thing about content is it can leave clues, right? So sometimes it can be indicative of what you're interested in your own career, right? And that's why I've mentioned it. Sometimes it might just be indicative of what you need in that moment and something that you are looking to get better at, right? A skill that you are looking to build, or sometimes it's just pure escapism. All of that is absolutely fine. But when you are going down this road of these sort of really simple ways of reflecting on your current habits and behaviors and what it is that you do, well, it makes sense to include content and what you consume in the reflection. So why don't you do just that? Now, number 4 comes back to something that, again, feels a little bit more basic. And that's what we're trying to do. We're wanting to start on the really foundational things. And this one is all about reflecting on your skills. Have a think. What are you really good at? Now, sometimes we're not actually the best at working out what we are good at. And here are some of the ways that you may have seen clues. So, obvious ones, maybe as part of school or university, you entered competitions of some kind, whether it related to these kind of math Olympiads or whether it relates to writing competitions, right? Maybe you entered competitions and have been commended for your work. Now, that's a really clear way to recognize that you are skillful in an area. Sometimes also it's about thinking about what you enjoy doing, and in some instances, not all, but in some instances, what you find quite easy. So let's say you're doing a group project. Are you the one that, say if you're organizing an event or something like that, are you the one that drafts the emails? Are you the one who really keeps on top of the project management? Right? Sort of thinking about how you do kind of group activities might help you to identify where some of your skills currently lie. And of course, this isn't a dormant thing, right? We have 50+ year careers, so we can and should be building our skills along the way. But what we're talking about is this foundational element of you understanding more about yourself, right? So thinking about where your skills currently lie is a really useful way of exploring potential career paths for yourself. Now, in many ways, you can do this just through reflection, so start there. And remember, there are also resources which can help you reflect on your skills also. And this is the last one before I come back to what I promised, which is the one that may be so obvious, but you haven't yet done it. For number 5, I'd love you to imagine that you're a millionaire. And here's why. I'd love you to think about if you had a good amount of money and you were prepared to give some away. you were prepared to donate some. What might be some of the causes and areas that you would want to donate some of your money to? Now, this actually leads to a really great values exercise that we may look at in another video. Do drop a comment below and let me know if you would like that. And it's also a really great starting point in thinking about yourself and what it is that you're interested in. So if you know that you would want to donate towards improving food security, eradicating child poverty, increasing education for women and girls, supporting animal welfare, protecting our planet, or any of a wide range of other really meaningful places that your money could go. When you take the time to reflect on that, in some instances, and this may be the case for you, it gives you a bit of a clue about if something is important enough for you to actually contribute to it on your day-to-day basis, i.e., in your career. So that can be quite a good one to reflect on. All right, so what we have done in most of this video, as I intended, because I hope you will find it really useful, is thinking about what is already within you, right? When you're a little bit overwhelmed and it feels like there are so many things to think about, sometimes it's good to pause, take a deep breath, and think about what is already within you. What do you know about yourself? Now, sometimes life is so busy that we don't take the time to do this kind of reflection, but if you've taken this time today, and or at least if you're walking away with the tools to actively do this, then you, my love, are winning, and you're very much on your way to some more career clarity. Now, today I really wanted to focus on that. I wanted to focus on what you already know. However, it's also really, really important to recognize that you are not on your own in this journey. And I know that you will know that you have parental or guardian involvement and all of that stuff, and that is awesome. Long may that continue. Although sometimes I know that that can be a little bit of a clash when you see things differently. So the reminder that I wanted to give you, and this is the really obvious one, is remember to tune into wherever the qualified careers guidance professional is in your life. And chances are they're not very far away. If you're in your school, then hopefully you have a careers team and they're there, they're in your school. If you're at university, you absolutely have a university careers department. Use them, right? They are there for you. So when you can go to a qualified independence guidance professional, you have some support in doing these sorts of downloads and thinking things through. And sometimes I've had students come to appointments with me and say, oh, I'm so sorry, like I don't have clarity, I don't know what I want to do. And I'm like, my lovely, that is all the more reason to come and see me and see us and have a chat. So you will have those sorts of resources around you, hopefully. Do look and check that you're not missing a key resource that can help you reflect, that can help you hold up a mirror, that doesn't have a stake in things. Like careers professionals, we want you to do well. We want you to find what is right for you, right? We want you to find what is right for you. And that's why it can be so incredibly helpful. So yeah, as promised, that was something which may be super obvious, but you might not yet be taking advantage of. Career clarity for the overwhelmed. That's what we've been talking about. And I hope you see how even starting with yourself and giving yourself some time for reflection, that's a great place to start. That is an excellent launch pad. So comment below. What has been most useful for you? What are you going to try? What further questions do you have if it all still feels frustrating and overwhelming? Comment below, and if you want me to do a video on a specific topic in relation to a certain question that you have, let me know. I'll do my best. I'm Dina Visram from the Your Career and Future YouTube channel and the Dive Into Your Career podcast, and I'm really excited to catch you on another video soon. Bye. Enjoyed this video? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure that you come back for another video soon.